Hi everyone, today we are doing something a little different, although I have done tier list in the past. This one is a tier list of the Legend of Zelda remakes and remasters. So to be fair, I haven't played all of them, so as a result we have our unplayed / unknown category, which is mostly just unplayed. But based on this, the Satellaview ones, I'm pretty sure, are Ancient Stone Tablets in BS Legend of Zelda, which are like remakes of the original Zelda, which apparently are pretty good, and they have new like artwork and everything, but yeah, other than emulation, there's no way to play them nowadays. Zelda Game & Watch, from what I can tell, these games are very simple, but I mean, probably have their own charm to it. Four Swords Anniversary Edition, I have no idea. And A Link to the Past Four Swords, kind of an expansion on the A Link to the Past re-release for Game Boy Advance. So, with that being said, let's get started. So, this is every Zelda game that is not a remaster / remake. So these are all of the options we have. I am including the re-releases of Hyrule Warriors. So to start off with, Link's Awakening on Nintendo Switch, that's an easy S tier. This is an awesome remake. Everything is just great about this game. I mean, I wouldn't say that, like, it's perfect. It's still, like, I feel like the art style is really appealing, but the character models, I don't really know if it's the perfect evolution of the original game on Game Boy or even the remaster on Game Boy Color, but it is really good, and honestly, like, it feels amazing. But also, there are some buttons that they should have used that just kind of are there on the Switch controller. Yeah. Fun game. Anyway. Twilight Princess HD. Some people have some problems with this one. I'm gonna say C, which isn't bad. It's just kind of mid. I played this actually, I'm gonna say B. I played this version, and I mean, I was fine with it. I don't really like busting out the Wii U at all, but this was a good version of the game. It removes some of the obnoxiously long, like, bug segments from the original. It looks a little nicer than the original, but all in all, it's still Twilight Princess, so I don't really know what to say. There's not really as much, like, improvements that I can think of, by comparison. I just realized that this does not have Skyward Sword HD on it. That is embarrassing. So, as a result, there's just regular regular Skyward Sword. We're gonna say that that's Skyward Sword HD for the sake of this tier list. I can't believe I just noticed that. Yeah. Okay, Majora's Mask 3D, I'm gonna put this one in D. Mostly because most of these remasters and remakes are pretty good. And I mean, this one's fine, but I've never liked it. When I went through Majora's Mask and beat it for the first time, I played the original on Nintendo 64, because every time I've tried to play the 3DS version, something goes wrong. And, like, I'm a little biased. I had to, like, reset my entire 3DS because this game, like, froze the entire system while I was playing it once. And, I don't know. People have said, like, that there's other problems with it. I'm not fully aware of what those are. I know that it makes the game longer, and there's definitely some, like, additions and stuff, but I'm not a big fan. Now, again, that's not saying it's bad. I'm just saying, like, nothing on here is going to be terrible. Like, nothing's going to end up in F. So I would just say this is probably generally what I would consider the worst. Wind Waker HD. Okay. I really like Wind Waker HD because, I mean, the graphic update, it looks, not that the original looked bad, the original looks amazing, but it just looks so beautiful. They added a few things as well. The Swift Sail is really nice for getting around quicker. yeah, it's still the Windwaker though. It's not like substantial, but it's pretty good. Skyward Sword HD. This one also goes in A. I actually think that this is a better remaster than Windwaker. When this was first announced, I think a lot of people got that, like, they're doing nothing with the game, like, this sucks. But this is actually an underrated remaster, because they did do a lot. The game looks a lot nicer. The cutscenes probably could have used some more work. Not having motion controls is really nice. There are some parts that are, like, shortened within the story, which is nice. It's just a nice remaster. I really wish, though, like, that you didn't have to hold down I'm pretty sure it's the L button just to move around the camera. It's, oh my gosh. Oh, pain. But other than that, like, it's a good remaster, and just having the option to have a camera, really nice compared to, I mean, it's so weird to me that you couldn't do that in the original, but you couldn't. Ocarina of Time 3D, this one's also going to the top of A. This is how I originally beat Ocarina of Time, and this is just a really good, I guess this is technically a remaster, some can call it a remake, but it's really good. A lot of the kind of like ugly, like rendered areas in Ocarina of Time, like they kind of stand out to you as like, ugh, like this looks odd, but that's no longer the case in Ocarina of Time 3D. It's everything, for the most part, fixed on that end. They do add, I think Grezzo made this one, they do add some like weird details in like Link's house of like materials, which like looks nicer, but if you're like paying attention, it's like, what is this doing here? But yeah, this just like looks really pretty, and they really didn't need to add that much. Like, it's Ocarina of Time. It's gonna be a wonderful experience. The 3D effect is good. That's about all I have to say. Okay, Ocarina of Time Master Quest. I don't really feel like this adds much. This like patches some stuff in the game. I'm putting this at C, as in it's mid. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. There's not really a whole lot like new, I guess. Like, this is Ocarina of Time, a little more difficult. Some stuff is patched. Yeah, I have played this version on GameCube. I almost beat it. I think I got to the Forest Temple, but it's still Ocarina of Time. It's pretty much like a re-release, so, you know. Link's Awakening DX. This one's tricky because part of me feels like this should probably be S. Because this is a really, really, really good deluxe port. They add a brand new dungeon. The game looks gorgeous. Like, it's a lot better on Game Boy Color. But the thing is, like, I mean, the biggest problem with the game is still, like, it's built is the 2-button thing, the thing that you can only use A or B, and that's still the case on Game Boy Color, which isn't really the game's fault. So I mean, like, they did what they could. Yeah, I'm sticking with S. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. I'm gonna put this in B. I'm gonna put this at the top of B. It's the definitive edition of the game. There's no doubt about that. I feel like they could have done more with this game. Like, they add some new content and stuff, but, and it's not like this game's lacking content or anything. Like, I don't know. It just feels like it's like missing something. I wouldn't have minded like another like new mode or like some new like combat challenges or maybe like I don't know. I'm not really sure what else I would have added. which is kind of difficult because, like, I mean, there was already so much stuff in the original that when it comes to making a deluxe definitive edition for it, it's like, what are you supposed to do? And then Hyrule Warriors Legends, I guess this is probably going to be F. I don't actually mind this. Like, I don't really think it's all that bad. But there's obvious problems. The frame rate, especially. This game was made for the Wii U, and trying to port it to 3DS is tricky. As a result, yeah, things were going to go wrong, and things did go wrong. Yeah. So, looking at this list, shoot, man. I'm back and forth on Skyward Sword, because to be honest, like, well, they did what they could, they also kind of messed up. So, I'm gonna put this at the top, in the middle of B, because the more that I think about it, like, they should have done something else to, like, make the button controls work better, especially with the free roaming camera. Like, it is very distracting, and also the motion controls kind of suck in the game, and I get that the Joy-Cons aren't on par with the Wii motes, but, like, it just doesn't really feel the best, and the best way to do combat in the game is still technically through motion controls. So yeah, I'm gonna put it in the middle because they could have done more, and arguably they should have done more. Like, there's other stuff that's still BS in the game that they could have removed, but they didn't. So yeah, that's my take. I wish I could have played, like, these games in here in the unknown, unplayed category. But yeah, I think that this is a decent list. Link's Awakening DX, I'm a little back and forth on. And I mean, the Link's Awakening remake on Switch isn't exactly perfect either. I just think it's the best of everything. But looking at this makes me realize, like, I wouldn't mind some more, like, remakes of Zelda games. I mean, people have pointed out, like, the Oracle games. And at first I was, like, opposed to it. I was like, like, I don't know about that. But the more that I think about it, like, they're right. I do think that the Oracle games do deserve some sort of remake. Yeah, and there's other games in the history of Zelda that probably deserve something like that. Like a good, like, modern version of Zelda 2. I know some people would be strictly opposed to that, but it could have potential. But yeah, this is my list. These are my thoughts, and yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. This has been Noah for Life, extra. I need to work on a better name, but that's what we got so far. Well, thank you all for watching. Bye.